Welcome everyone to our Q&A with Qlik webinar series. We are so excited to have all of you with us today for our March session, Qlik Reporting Service. This feature was rolled out at the end of 2021 and enables our Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS users to deliver bursted multi-page reports. This webinar series is a live question and answer session, or you may have seen us refer to it as live office hours with our expert panelists. We want you to use this time to ask a question on today's topic and hopefully get to know some of the good people here at Qlik a little bit more. So on that note, I am Jamie Gregory and I will be your moderator for this session. I am a community operations manager on our Qlik community team, where I manage the stability of the site, the development and new features, as well as administering the site. Before that, I was a technical support engineer and I assist our clients with the dev and design questions on Qlik Sense, Qlik View, GeoAnalytics, and our first generation cloud application. I've been a Qlikie for about 4.5 years, and I'm located in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is along the East Coast of the United States. So before I introduce our panelists, I'm going to go over our session parameters. Everybody is on mute, and so we ask you to use the Q&A panel to ask your questions. We will not necessarily be using the panel to type out a response to you or your question, but we do plan to get to everyone's questions live today. Our survey link will pop up when the session has ended. It is also linked in this presentation, so please be sure to complete it. It takes about 15 seconds, pretty quick and easy. We also plan to email the link out with the recording 1 week from today, and the survey will be shared along with it. It's what helps us continuously improve this experience for you. We love when participants share future topics you'd like to hear about. These can range from product specific or functionality focused. Go ahead and email your ideas to digital@qlik.com, and topic suggestions can also be included when you register. I'll put the email in the chat for everyone a little bit later. So keep in mind, even though that we have Qlik's Techsperts on the line, we will not be able to answer any of your questions regarding a specific open case. And we ask you to just keep the questions relevant to today's topic, which of course is Qlik Reporting Service. So without further ado, joining us today, we have Andrew Kruger, a product manager covering reporting service. Pete Mahil-Rapale as a senior product manager, joining us from the application automation side. Gianluca Perrin, a software engineering director. And then we have 2 senior technical support engineers joining us today, Jan Jorsen and Daniele Perron, who is also one of our support SaaS leads. So that is a stacked group of knowledge that we have here for you today. So let's go ahead and start from the top. Andrew, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Jamie. And I agree. Great people, fellow Qlik colleagues here. Thank you for joining today. So my name is Andrew Kruger. I'm located in Ottawa, Canada, and I am the product manager for alerting, reporting, and collaboration. And obviously today's topic is reporting and the Qlik Reporting Service. So I've been with Qlik over 3 years now. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what the feedback is, what the questions are today, and look forward to chatting with you. So maybe Pete Mahil, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. So I'm Pete Mahil. I joined Qlik a year and a half ago with a Blender acquisition, and the Blender features have now been released as Qlik Application Automation in Qlik Sense, Qlik Clouds. Automations is used as a, let's say, delivery mechanism for the reporting services. So that's why I'm added to this call, and I'm very interested in the questions. Moving over to Gianluca.
Thank you, Pete. So my name is Gianluca Perrin. I'm director in software engineering. I'm leading the reporting group. I joined Qlik almost 7 years ago. So yeah, I'm eager to hear your questions.
Perfect, great.
And now over to Daniele.
Hi everyone, this is Daniele Purrone. I'm based in Lund. I'm a senior engineer, support engineer. I'm also supervising the SaaS team, our cloud team. I'm probably the oldest Qlikie around here. It's 8 years, and so I'm the old guy here. And yeah, as anyone else, I'm looking forward to your questions.
Perfect.
Jan.
And Jan.
Thank you. I'm Jan. I've been working for Qlik for 3 years, senior technical support engineer. I'm a member of the signature support team. I work on QDA and Qlik Cloud support cases. So I'm also very much looking forward to receiving your questions.
Perfect. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And let's go ahead and just jump right into our questions. So the first question we have is, how does Qlik Reporting Service and Qlik Application Automation work hand in hand? And how can I save report automations?
I guess I can answer that one. I mean, the Qlik automation is one of the ways that we have for generating reports. This is the one that we offer out of the box in our product. You can also use APIs and generate reports via our public APIs. So if you don't want to use automation, then you can just do it, build your own solution, like in the way that you want to. As how to save the report, it's in automation, you just save it as any other automation, and if you build your own solution, you will find your own way to do that.
Perfect. Does anyone have any use cases that they can share?
If I can just go back a little bit, just sort of
Sure.
the concept that the API, so the Qlik Reporting Service is an API, right? It's a public-facing API. It's a value-add service on the platform, and what it's doing is it's supporting the composition of a report is essentially what it's doing, right? So it allows you to move beyond native Qlik experiences and be able to drive more advanced distribution use cases. So you can create compositions. You can go with a single chart, or you can go compositions of charts and sheets. And you can even go multi-app from the API, right? And naturally, that's the most advanced. And then, of course, you can configure sort of a number of output parameters for that file that comes out. And then, as with our sort of the Qlik application automation platform, we make it really seamless for you to be able to integrate those reporting exercises within your business process automation. At the moment, those blocks that are there support a multi-sheet single app capability. And in time, we'll be looking to bring the full capability of that Qlik Reporting Service API and be able to leverage those within the blocks. Certainly, we know that customers have a lot of ambitions about being able to compose sheets and charts together in a single composition, as well as have those objects come from multiple apps as well. So that's a part of the journey, and we're going to be very excited to get there. So API is really driving just that definition of what the report output is and delivering that file. And then you have either your own process through your API integration or Qlik application automation as part of your broader business process definition for your reporting tasks. So,
perfect. Thank you, Andrew. And thank you, Daniele. Okay, let's see. Does Cloud Reporting Service have newsstand feature?
I love this question.
I can take that question.
Go for it, Jan.
Technically, as you know, in the same sense as with Nprinting, no, but we do offer the feature to drop the file or to save the file on an equivalent like Dropbox or SharePoint, OneDrive, and we'll be offering potentially more of those in future.
Yeah, and why I love this question is because of the sort of the flexibility that Qlik application automation has offered for that channel of delivery, right? You can go to email, you can go to a number of cloud connected locations, and as Jan mentioned, Pete Mahill was nice enough to get the support for Microsoft platform, which with SharePoint you get enterprise level document repository distribution there. So, the value or the opportunity here is that you can really connect into your cloud ecosystem for your report channel delivery.
Perfect. Okay, next question. We've gotten this one a couple times already, So I think it's a pretty popular question. Is it planned that the Qlik Reporting Service will be available for on-prem installations in the future?
No, it's Qlik Cloud only API capability, and obviously is paired with the Qlik application automation that's within Qlik Cloud as well. So Qlik Cloud capability. Nprinting remains our client-managed reporting value add offering.
And we had another question too that was in the chat, and I think you kind of just answered it. Is automation coming to Qlik Sense Enterprise anytime soon?
I can take that one. Same answer. So automations is a cloud-based solution only. Of course, there are options to connect to on-prem applications if they allow that, but we focus mainly on the cloud applications and also, of course, the Qlik Cloud connection.
Perfect. Thank you, Pete Michiel. So this one is a little bit more in depth, a little bit more kind of use focused. So I'll try to get through, but if you have any questions, just let me know. So hi, one of the most serious limitations with reports so far is legibility. Example 1 is chart labels. Example 2 is resizing column width and table. This does not display in the report the same way it does in the app, nor in the download sheet as PDF preview. Is themes going to be your way of addressing this? When will a solution be rolled out? Thanks.
Again, love the question. And just, I want to call out before we dig into that, and Gianluca, I don't know if you want to help me on this one. I want to highlight that, so we released in Q4, the Qlik Reporting Service, and this was part of the feedback that came up on Qlik Community, right? And to reinforce that there's an ideation there, there's a forum there, and we're responding to it. So we're actively working on some updates. I don't know if we're going to nail every single one of those scenarios, but maybe Gianluca, you want to share some of the work we're doing that we're looking to roll out in the near future.
Sure. So what we are focusing on at the moment is to improve the legibility, the theme support, and in general, the output quality of what we are producing out of our reporting APIs. And also to ensure that whatever we are going to introduce will be, will be all across our feature set. So all our feature set will share the same aspect ratio, the same look and feel, the same quality, the same size. So in order to give more predictability to our customers, because I see that part of this question is what I see when I download, it doesn't respect what I see on the preview panel. So we are addressing this, making sure that what you see on, at least on the preview panel, will be consistent all across our feature set. And so what we are focusing on is improving the quality, supporting themes and custom themes, and also improving legibility of things like fonts. So short answer is yes, we are working on that. We're solving that.
We're listening and we're working on it. Yeah.
Perfect. They also said, FYI, my sheet size is 3500 by 2480. So just so you have that piece of information as well. All right, and just kind of going back to the ideation really quick that Andrew mentioned. Here we have community.qlik.com, and then there is a section here for ideation. And you can search ideas, so we do ask that you search first. You do have to be a customer, partner, or luminary, and you must be logged in to be able to submit an idea. But if the idea already exists, you can show it some love by giving it a like or making a comment that lets our product managers like Andrew know that this is something that you're looking for in the product. So you can just search at the top here, or you can also just suggest an idea directly. So if it's not there, you can go ahead and put it in. We do, recommend, if this is something that you're really passionate about, that the product, it would be valuable for a lot of people, make sure that you're sharing the idea. Again, people do have to be logged in. They do have to be a customer, partner, or luminary to upvote an idea, but you can share that idea to get some traction so that our product managers know that this is something that, everybody needs or wants. Okay. So next question. Hi, will we be able to get a user and group or group management list from Qlik SaaS and send them a report?
So Pete Michiel, I'm going to look for maybe you to participate with me on this one. I'm not, so there's a few ways I'm interpreting that question. So I'll just start with the capability today, right? So again, using Qlik application automation, you can connect to a recipient list of your, if you've got either a straight table within an app, if you've got a database, if you've got an Excel file that has your recipient list and your user filters, you can, connect to it and bring that in. I haven't specifically tried to connect to the Qlik SaaS user repository to drive reports out of it. Maybe Pete Mihill, I'll look for you to comment on that. What I'm not sure of is whether this is asking if we're going to actually create a management experience, and that would be, we'd love to hear that feedback. If you think there's a need for a centralized reporting management repository, that's sort of a different requirement. So Pete Mihill, I just from a connectivity perspective, can we pull from our using Qlik Connector and pull user lists from Qlik Cloud?
Yes, I'm actually looking at it. Maybe I can share my screen.
Yeah, let me stop sharing really quick.
Okay. So let me share this desktop. Do you see the automation editor? So I hope everybody in this group have seen that before.
I'm not seeing anything. Are you seeing some?
No, I'm not seeing your screen yet.
Okay.
Can you just try sharing again there?
There's like 2 buttons you have to click.
Now we got it.
That should be better. Yeah, perfect. So this is the blank automation editor. You have the Qlik Cloud Service connector. And here we have an option to get your users. If you run that, you can see your example output. You see information of the users. You also find the emails. I think if you use then the mail block to send it out, looping over these users and sending out report to that email, it will work. I'm checking. You also see roles. I'm not sure how to find the space information, so we need to do some further investigation. Maybe on the get user block you have more information if you want to limit it to spaces. So, but actually automations again it's a way of surfacing the Qlik APIs. So what you can do in a script in any way programmatically, you can access that data, you should be able to do it in automations. So I think the flow here should be you list the users that you want to send it out, you generate a report per user maybe, if you have specific criteria per user, and you send it out to that specific user. Or like Andrew said, you post it on a SharePoint, and then you send a message to that user on Slack or on Teams, linking that document. Can also be.
Yep. Yeah. So, and just a bit more context, if that question happens to have come from the Qlik Nprinting world where you had an explicit repository, this is sort of one of the evolutions in the Qlik Cloud environment where you have the opportunity to leverage your cloud ecosystem to really control your distribution recipient lists. And there's a lot of flexibility in doing so. So if, certainly as you're hands-on with the experience, if you do see that sort of feedback on, hey, maybe we do need a centralized repository of recipients in Qlik Cloud, by all means, would love to see that ideation and start to generate that feedback as well. So we'll watch for that. So hopefully that addresses that question.
Maybe one addition to that, what we've seen in a few with a few customers is that there's some external source where you manage your user groups or the recipients. It can be a Google Sheet, can be an HR system or anything, and you connect to those systems to get the emails or the address list out, and then you include that in your flow. So that's again the flexibility of that no-code environment with the out-of-the-box connections, of course.
Perfect. And just really quick, we did just get some feedback in the chat about being frustrated that they don't have the access even though they're a customer. So if you see that you don't have the correct permissions, if you're a customer, partner, or luminary and you don't see things that you're supposed to, like ideation, like the case portal, even the newly added downloads page here under product news, you can go here to the support section, and we do have a chat feature, and that will connect you directly to our customer support team. So you just click the help, and then you can go through the prompts there to get connected to someone, and they can make sure that you get the correct access. So if you have any questions about that, you can also reach out to me directly. I'm Jamie Gregory out on the Qlik community, just reach out and I can get you pointed in the correct direction, okay?
Yeah, if I can add something, sometimes we've seen the situations where customers were requesting stuff on the community, and we, as support staff, we log the idea on their behalf. So if it's necessary, we can also do that.
Perfect. Perfect. That's helpful, Daniela. Thank you.
Hey, Jamie, there's one that came in the chat. I know we're keying off of the Q&A and we should keep going on the Q&A. So that's where the questions are, but I saw a question in the chat that I'll just quickly address. So yes, currently the format output for Qlik Reporting Service is PDF. Certainly keenly aware that customers are asking about both PowerPoint report format as well as Excel report format. So those are definitely on the horizon. I can't offer timing. We continue to evaluate, the appropriate solutions given that the Qlik Reporting Service capability. But certainly PowerPoint and Excel are definitely capabilities we're looking for in the future.
Perfect. All right. So hi, folks. We are migrating from Qlik Sense Enterprise Client Managed to Enterprise SaaS. In Client Managed version, we had Nprinting, and we always found it very challenging to distribute reports to external contacts like customers and suppliers, since we had to maintain contacts in Nprinting. How does it work in the SaaS edition to manage external contacts? Can you share some documents or links to read more on this topic?
So I think we just covered sort of that. You have the flexibility to be able to connect to a database if you wanted to, using the connectors there. If you had a MySQL database, you can use a straight table that's in the app if you wanted to, and it is a practice that many Nprinting customers actually used as well. You could connect to a Google Sheet, an Excel sheet. That flexibility is there to leverage those connectors. I personally am not aware of whether we've sort of documented all those strategies, and I think some of the opportunity of Qlik application automation is there's probably more than we could document. But I don't know, team, if there's anything else you want to add to that in terms of any references at all, or actually, sorry, there's one other comment I'd make is that the report template. So when you create a new automation, there's a set of templates that are there. If you click on the report section, there is two that also show sort of how you would interact with a straight table or a potentially an Excel sheet as well. So there is templates that are in Qlik application automation to support that reference recipient list as well. Anyone want to add anything to what I just highlighted there?
Maybe same remark as just before. And you could also link directly to your CRM system, Salesforce, HubSpot. If you want there, if you group there the type of customers or contacts you want to send out a certain report to, or Marketo, and we are adding connections on a monthly basis. So also feel free to share those requests through ideation.
Yeah, just really quick too, we do have a couple of forums out there that I would like to point out. We do have a specific reporting service forum that you can ask any questions related to reporting service. People like Daniele are out scouring these forums to make sure that your questions get answered. So it may not be peer-to-peer, it could be Qlik to you answering directly. And then just to kind of talk about application automation really quick, we do have a separate page for that as well. And then we do have a list of all the connectors. We have a special connectors page here. And you can ask questions on this form as well if it's related to Qlik application automation or about one of its connectors. And then you can go to the connectors page and find articles based on your connector.
I'll also take that last question as a suggestion for sort of a either knowledge base article or a reference that we could evolve as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll take that away. So
perfect. All right, so hi everyone. Really enjoying using Qlik Reporting in SaaS. Could you talk about the limitations in terms of the number of reports you can run in Qlik SaaS Enterprise before you hit the limitations and have to pay more? Thanks.
I'll take that question. So included within Enterprise SaaS standard, you have 100 reports that you can run. So important to know there as well is that when you run those 100 reports, producing 100 PDFs basically, They also count as automations, so you have to deduct them from the total amount of automations. Then there are 3 categories that you can purchase, basically up to 1,000, up to 5,000, and up to 20,000. And there, for that last category, there are also expansion packs. So those are the offers we make.
If I may add something, at the moment we're not enforcing that, but you will get a report from your account manager if you are at the limit or going beyond the limit, and then a discussion will be taken whether you need to buy something else or not. So at the moment it's free use, fair use, I mean. But of course, if we notice that you're using a lot, then you'll get contacted by the account manager.
Yeah, that the reporting capability, the sort of utilization of your service is also in motion as well. So it will be, you'll start to see that soon. Best to talk to your Qlik representative around sort of your requirements and your needs to Qlik reporting service and Qlik application automation in time. I just want to add one comment. Common question is confusion over report production versus who actually receives the report, right? So that measure for the Qlik reporting service is, as Jan appropriately said, is the number of PDFs in essence at the moment, because that's the output that you're producing. We're not evaluating, and there's no sort of constraint on how many people see that PDF, right? Your process automation will determine sort of whether you're dropping it into a file repository or whether you're dropping it into email. That's not being measured. It's really just about the report output or PDF output from the Qlik reporting service. So hopefully that clarifies a common question that I get.
Thank you, everyone. All right, next question. Are there plans to allow more control over things like fonts, colors, etc. in QRS? Some of our clients have detailed Nprinting reports that cannot use out-of-the-box Qlik text options.
So I think Gianluca covered that before in terms of the evolution we're trying to bring in the near-term future around supportive themes would be the way to do that. Anything you want to add to that, Gianluca?
No, at the moment, the way you are going to customize fonts and color and such will be through themes. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think there's a subtlety here that I'd love the community's feedback over time, right? As you see that capability come out, is, you're leveraging sheets, and we're providing optimizations in terms of how those come out in PDF. Sort of as you see that opportunity to maybe evolve how sheets, sort of that interactive mode transitions into a PDF report output or other file format output, would love to hear that feedback on the community as well. So in summary, look for an update that's coming out in the near future that should help give you more control over that output, and then let us know how that's working for you. So
perfect. Okay. So hello, everyone. I have a question about application automation. I have some customers that use distribution app from QlikView and Qlik Sense to Qlik Cloud SaaS. Every time the apps go to SaaS, they are put into the staged area. My question, is there a possibility to automate publishing this apps from staged area to space area? So a little off topic, but we might have the person here to answer it.
It's a difficult question. I've had similar questions before, and I need to, we need to deep dive in that. I think, again, automation is limited by what you can do in Qlik Cloud. If you can do it in the UI, we should be able to do it in automations, but I'm not sure on publishing the app from stage area to space if that's even possible. There is a flow for that, and we need to investigate what's possible. So I don't have a clear answer on this because I need to investigate the flow in Qlik Cloud for this.
Daniela, you're shaking your head.
I checked that before, and it's not possible. I think one of the limitations is that staged apps can only be published by the tenant administrator. But when I tried it myself, I couldn't find a way. So as far as I know, that is not possible at the moment. Of course, if that is a good something good for an idea. So if you think that's something that could be helpful, just log an idea on ideation, and we can see what we can do.
Perfect. I would recommend maybe posting that into the data, the application automation forum, and Pete Mahil can, just revisit it and have it in there, and then, possibly create the idea as well.
Yeah. Again, we get quite a lot of questions in the automation forum on, is this possible? So automation, again, we help you investigate. We contact the other teams within Qlik. But my general rule is, if you can do it in the UI, or you can mimic it through, let's say, the Qlik CLI or something, we should be able to do it. But we can't do magic. If there is something not available in the UI, automation will not be able to do it, because we are just leveraging the existing services.
You're not a magician, Pete Mahil?
I'll try to, but
I disagree, Pete Mahil. I think Qlik application automation is magic. So I think you're underestimating yourself.
Yeah, okay. But it's a good suggestion. It came up a few times already. So maybe it's just a feature we need to help prioritize.
Okay, perfect. Great question. All right. Next question, talking more about some of these templates. Are there plans to create a Qlik reporting template, one that's out of the box, has a good pixel size, layout, etc., since usage of just a standard sheet won't produce a quality report? Developers can be expected to know that they need to modify the sheet, but users cannot, since it's self-service.
So I would start on that one just by saying, I'm going to presume that comes from the current experience of the challenge of just controlling the legibility of it, right? So I'd actually almost ask for feedback after we release some updates to help with that exact feedback. Then from a best practice perspective, I can imagine certainly that we can capture some best practices. So no explicit plans, but I'd actually love to hear this feedback after we provide those updates. Team, anyone else want to see something else in that question that we should comment on? No, so certainly, okay. I think from a sheet perspective, yeah, I acknowledge there's some trial and error, and that's why, as Gianluca highlighted, there's a number of efforts that that are underway in development right now, and are proceeding to testing to help improve and address some of the feedback that has happened. Right, if you've got some smaller font type presentations, if you've got custom themes in the mix, it can be we acknowledge the feedback that we can do a little better in terms of giving some better legibility to that, and that's what we're working on. So.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. All right. We are, halfway through the session already. Is just flying by. So if you have any questions, make sure you get them in the Q&A panel so that all of our experts can weigh in on them. And we have a comment here that says, "Thank you. Keep up the great work." So thank you for the comment. We love hearing things like that, of course. Someone would like to, if you could discuss more about managing groups internally within Qlik SaaS. Maybe we could show something.
That's a platform topic. I don't know, Danielle or Jan, do either of you go into that domain? It's not a topic that I can address.
I think there are some developments to give more functionality on this. If you mean at least user groups, and in that sense, that you would find them like on the domain side, for example. But that's on the roadmap to bring more granularity there. But for the moment, there isn't much that you can configure as such.
Yeah, well said, Jan. It's probably not probably a question we can pin for offline feedback, or that's probably the best we're going to get at this point, actually, Jan's answer.
Yeah, I mean, if you have anything specifically that you need some information on, just put it in the forums. Like I said, our technical support team, they do scour the forums to look for questions that they can help with. So I would imagine that would be one. If you have, whatever information you have about the topic that you're looking for, some examples or if it is an idea that you would like to see in the product, make sure you get it into ideation. Okay. Add selection to sheet in the Qlik reporting connector does not influence, for example, the get straight table data in Qlik Cloud Services connector. I initially found this confusing. Will the two connectors be integrated in the future?
I can answer to that. The short answer is no. Their reporting service and the reporting connectors are using their own session, which is separated by other connector session or the interactive session. This is by design because reporting generation is a batch process, and we cannot afford to mess up with selections that are applied under the hood on any given time during the day, and potentially without control by the user, because it is a batch process. Therefore, we decided to separate the reporting session by other sessions. So at the moment, no, we do not plan to merge different sessions.
Yeah, and maybe if I can add to that, same as for automations, it's also a design choice to run automations in a different session than the UI is. You do not want to be working in your dashboard and suddenly things start to be appearing, selections start to be applied, and so because an automation is running in the background. So that's why it's really separate. I think in passing over selections from, let's say, the UI to an automation and maybe later to a report, we are looking into the bookmark feature. So you can save it and you can then reapply it there. So that's under investigation, how far we can go there for both sharing between automations or the UI and automations and sharing it to reporting.
Perfect. Does anyone know if that's documented anywhere in the help or in an article?
We have some articles on how sessions are managed with automations. I can share it in the notes of this. There in a community you find some good information on how sessions are handled between automations and between UI. So that's a good link.
Okay.
And I think the other way to think about it is, remember, coming back to the level set, which is Qlik Reporting Service is an API, and so you're submitting a report definition to the API, right? So it's not about the state of the session. You're using those Qlik connectors at times to be able to draw different values to define what your report composition is. That's the report composition you're sending into that Qlik reporting service.
Okay, cool. All right. So just another comment. This is going back to the different formats available aside from PDF, or getting more formats. And they're just saying having those additional formats will help us move people to SaaS, just something to keep in mind. Without the ability to get rid of nprinting and on-premise Qlik Sense, the savings from SaaS just aren't as noticeable. So good feedback.
Yep, and I think that every customer's journey to SaaS is will sort of be their own, if you will. And I think it's important to note that there are a number of capabilities that reside in the native Qlik Cloud experience for business users that were historically centralized in printing use cases. And so certainly encourage, there's that active intelligence theme, right? That vision that we talked to. Surfaces for the business users to be able to control some of their own distribution needs through alerting, through subscription reports, even through capabilities like monitor charts or collaborative capability like notes. So I think that the opportunity is not just a one-for-one of a report and a report executing on client managed and report executing in cloud. We know there's core use cases, and as you've already heard, we're definitely attentive to those, and we will be addressing those core use cases over time from an enterprise reporting use case. But there's also other capabilities on the Qlik Cloud that continue to drive that value and that opportunity for our customers. So certainly Nprinting is a great influence for us, and for us to look at how we evolve that enterprise reporting capability from cloud. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay. You mentioned we can connect to CRM to fetch external contacts to send out reports. Does section access apply when using SaaS reporting automation to ensure external contact gets reports with their data only?
Does anyone want to take that, or Gianluca, do you want to go, or who wants to take that one?
It's on the roadmap, but it isn't there yet.
Yeah, so not at this time. You're using for that distribution use case to external users. You're using kind of a user level filter as part of your report definition that is going to control that.
Perfect. When will the number of reports used be added to the admin console?
So that was sort of the follow on to what Danielle commented on, is that we are working on summary, delivering to tenants and a sort of a summary of utilization of the services. I can't speak more to it, and I actually don't know the timelines on it, but I can tell you it's very active exercise that will be a progression from first, obviously, visibility and then embedding or hydrating, if you will. And so do look for updates in 2022 that will give you that visibility that you need to successfully run your value add services on Qlik Cloud.
Perfect. All right, this is the last question that we have in the Q&A panel. So if anyone has any more questions, go ahead and get them in. Can a traditional header, detail, footer style report be created with the report service offering? Looks like you can by passing the parameters filters any documents available on the subject.
Additional header, footer, detail, footer. Gianluca, do you want to touch that, or do you want me to start? Or?
So the short answer is, at the moment, the only authoring environment that we are offering is the sheet. So whatever is possible through a sheet will be possible in reporting. Of course, we are exploring and we are investigating mainly two different roads. The first one is improve the sheet authoring environment, and the second one is to investigating on a different authoring environment, more Nprinting like that we are working on during this year and the next year. So there are these two main roads that we are exploring because sheet authoring environment is more suitable for self-service and such. The Nprinting like is more suitable for advanced reporting use cases.
Yep. Yeah, echo that. I mean, certainly there's a vast array of reporting control requirements, and we're aware of them through our experience with Nprinting, and great feedback on sheet-based reporting so far, and we'll continue to refine that and stretch that as far as we can. But also, we know that we need to support more composition-based use cases as well. So, yeah.
Okay, so thank you. We just got some feedback in. They said, thanks for your answer about Qlik reporting versus Qlik Cloud services. As I am learning and synthesizing your feedback, I think your answer highlights the need for more robust blocks in Qlik reporting services so we can stay out of the live state of the app. Where I was forced to go to Qlik Cloud services was to get filtered values from a straight table, and I would like to be able to do this from batch mode QRS.
Okay. So I think we'll take that as feedback and maybe a bit more capture of sort of the inner workings between those two sets of connectors. I think is how best to take that.
Perfect. Always valuable. All right. So one other question that we have is, how can I receive scheduled reports greater than the email attachment limit of 40 megs?
You'd be using your cloud connectors, right? So go to SharePoint, go to Dropbox. That would be your strategy there.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. We'll just give it a couple, 30 seconds to see if anyone else has any more questions. Everyone had really some great questions today, some great feedback. I know that the people that we have on the call today are very proactive with feedback, so I know that they'll take it and see what they can do for you. Again, make sure you're using ideation to get your enhancements in. If you have any questions, of course you can open up cases, but if you want to get some more interaction with other people that are not necessarily within Qlik, they might have some other suggestions on how to do things. Make sure you're going to the forums, asking questions, a reporting service forum here, and then if it's anything related to Qlik application automation, you can definitely go to the forum there. That one's under data integration here. And like I said earlier, if you're having trouble accessing the community, we do have some gated parts. Some specific ones would be the case portal and then the newly added downloads page. If you're having trouble getting access to that, just reach out to customer support. You can also email them at customersupport@qlik.com if you can't get in through the chat button, and they can help you get access to what you need. All right.
Jamie, I got one more topic, actually.
Sure.
So I can't believe I didn't clue into this at the time. For those that have tried the Qlik Reporting Service and have that experience of using themes, or would like to see sort of improvements around that fidelity experience, I will be looking to run sort of an early access of the capability, which would mean sort of an early deployment. If you're interested in seeing it before it goes GA, just send me a DM and through the community, right? Through Qlik community, send me a DM and I'll just work through the logistics of that. But we are looking to deliver that to a set of tenants earlier than GA to get some feedback, to let us, to get that feedback on how it's the improvements that it's offering. So if you're interested, just DM me through the community and we'll connect there. Perfect.
That's awesome. I know Jeremy will probably take you up on that.
I know. I was trying not to say names.
I think he'll be okay. If not, Jeremy, just tell us. We won't mention you again.
They're asking for the username on the community.
I think it's Andrew_Kruger. Is that your username, Andrew_Kruger? You can search for him.
Am I supposed to know these things?
We can look him up really quick.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me just check.
There he is, Andrew_Kruger.
Yeah.
Just one last thing. This is recorded. It will be posted, like I said, in a week. You can find it under Support Programs Q&A with Qlik, where we also have the schedule for the next few months. So if you want to join any of these next few events, go ahead and sign up here. All right, everyone. We will see you April 12th, migrating to Qlik Sense SaaS. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for joining. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.